the Mother Road, Main Street of America, a 2,400-mile ribbon of asphalt from Chicago to Los Angeles through the heart and history of America. The most beloved highway in the world, the original open road, Route 66.
We really didn't have the definitive road that connected the country until we had Route 66.
It was the only route east to west to California. I think that's what really started it. It's kind of an American legend.
On Route 66.
Hello, world.
We have simply captured the imagination of the world with Route 66. It's a beautiful piece of road. It's America at its best.
I get your kicks on Route 66.
There really was a hell of a lot to the creation of Route 66. It just didn't happen overnight.
Hurry, man!
You have to remember that in the mid-20s, when we were between wars and on the wagon, we were beginning and really going full force into our great love affair with the internal combustion engine, with the automobile. And Henry Ford was starting to roll them off, mass produce them, so they were coming off the line. Now farmers could afford to buy a car. Salesmen, widows, school teachers, clerks. It wasn't just the play toy for the rich anymore. Now everybody could have a car, so we needed roads. But largely we had a system of farm-to-market roads and highways, and we really didn't have the definitive road that connected the country until we had Route 66, the main street of America. 1926 was the birth date of Route 66. That's when we went with those numbers and took that road. But it took almost 10, 12 years to pave that whole highway after that, after 26. It wasn't until the late 30s that the whole road was paved with concrete and asphalt. Some of it was plank board. A lot of it was mud for many years. A lot of people wanted it to remain mud because they made a lot of money towing cars out of the mud pits after a good Midwestern or panhandle downpour. In the 1930s, that first great incarnation of Route 66, this country was hit with a double whammy. We had the Great Depression, we had the crash of Wall Street, we had the fall of agricultural prices, and the rain stopped, especially out in the heartland, out in the Midland of America.
Dry, they could no longer make a living off of the ground, off of their land. The cattle, it just got dry.
So we had people that left the Dust Bowl and left their broken dreams and tried to rebuild their lives, and they took to the road, the Mother Road, as John Steinbeck so aptly named it in that classic, great, important novel of the Depression, The Grapes of Wrath.
And they all said, if we could make it to California, we will be so much better off.
Many of the so-called Okies, the Arkies, those refugees, those pilgrims flocking into Route 66 couldn't afford the best cars. They had second and third hand cars. They had them wired together, you know, sort of like their lives were wired together with a little bit of gum and a prayer. And they got on that concrete road, on that asphalt road, on that Mother Road, and they headed west. And it was tough because the radiators did overheat, because those tires they had were just thin as paper, and they broke open, busted open, and they had to patch them, and they had to glue them, and they had to say grace over them, and they had to keep moving.
Route 66 was a two-lane highway. Snowstorms, miles and miles of desert. You couldn't go. It was really a danger. There were torturous curves around Oatman, hairpin, turns on the mountains just scare you to death.
And they moved into the road, and they went west. They went to the sea. They went to find sweet oranges. They went to rebuild their lives.
These little people, these little boys and girls grew up Now they're in their 50s and in their 60s and some in their 70s, and they're all looking for America of yesterday. They all sound like a recording. This must be where we broke down. This must be the town where my dad and father stopped. I don't remember, but it had to be Route 66.
The reconversion of war plants to peacetime pursuits is going ahead at full speed. And once more, the automobile factories are humming as huge stamping presses form the bodies of the first automobiles produced since the spring of 1942.
We have peace, and those who came home walking or limping were so happy, and they got cars again, and we got gasoline, and we had tires, and we had paid vacations, so they took to the road and launched that great heyday of the petrified forest and the Great Lakes and Hollywood and Disneyland and the Grand Canyon and Vegas. And it was a road of neon and dreams being made again.
Our trips are packed and safely stowed.
We're headed for the open road
On a happy, happy holiday in a brand new Chevrolet.
Fill her up. Back in the car again, refreshed. We continue our travels. We don't want to miss anything.
See you in the country.
From time to time, we stop for a closer view of something that catches our fancy. We don't want to miss anything. The modern motor car takes you from your front door to this natural treasure house.
Yes, Mr. and Mrs. America are on the move.
See you in the country.
With a happy feeling that getting somewhere can be fun these days.
Something that catches our fancy. We don't want to miss anything.
See you in the country. Ho for the open road.
It always amuses me when people say, oh, this road is getting too commercial. It always has been commercial. It's people trying to turn a buck. got a gimmick, and you've got to sell it, and you've got to let people know about it. If it means putting up Merrimack caverns on a farmer's barn, fine. If it means the Jackrabbit, that great silhouette, here it is, the Jackrabbit Trading Post, still in business with that clawingly sweet cider and all of those rubber tomahawks. You've got to let people know about it. Steak and Shake, White Castle, whatever it is, you've got to put the signs up.
I started in the souvenir shop, and I guided at the cave for a while, and then after that, why, Mr. Dill, the old originally owner, why, he couldn't find anybody to do their barns. So I started in on the signs, and then 25 years ago, I started in on the barns. And I've been painting barns and signs ever since. So I enjoy it. I even meet a lot of people, and I travel quite a bit. I go into Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Tennessee, and Kentucky on the east side of Mississippi, and on the west side, why, I go into Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, and Arkansas. So it keeps me pretty busy.
Wasn't generic. Each one of those billboards, each one of those joints was separate and different. Didn't come out of a cookie cutter. It wasn't homogenized at all.
If I get a couple good belches in, I'll be all right.
And it's like that today. If you go into a Route 66 diner, and you've not been there before, you don't know what you're going to find. You might get ptomaine poisoning, my friend, but you might find the ultimate feast, that cheeseburger platter that takes 12 napkins for you to get through. That's part of the road.
Dead chicken.
It's good chicken, man. I mean, yes, it's chicken. It's a chicken sandwich, man. Good chicken, really good chicken. How many, one or two, sir?
I want one.
Would you like to have some of this, sir?
General Eisenhower, soon to be President Eisenhower, during World War II was so enamored with the Autobahn in Germany that he saw, that sleek, efficient German highway, that he came back, and of course our love affair with the automobile, with the internal combustion engine, was going full steam. Everybody had at least two big Detroit gas-guzzling sleds in the driveway or garage, and in the mid-50s up to the mid-80s, they decertified Route 66. They came up with this Interstate Highway Act, and in the case of 66, it took 5 interstate highways from Chicago to Los Angeles to try to take Route 66 place.
Like to go places the ultra-modern, extra-pleasant way? It's easy. The great new highways are available nearly everywhere in the USA.
So we have all those highways linked up, those interstates, and they took down the shields. All of a sudden, it was quiet. And all you heard was the traffic in the distance on that new interstate. One day, there were legions of people. There were all kinds of cars, buses, and trucks coming to get gasoline, coming to spend money, coming to get hot plate lunches, and the next day it stopped. Just like if a dam were built up. It stopped.
We get by past September 22nd, 1978, and it reminds me of when our late President John Fitzgerald Kennedy was assassinated, the world stopped. It just literally stopped as though they had put a gate at each end of town and forbade travelers to come into town. We must have lost 75% of the economy, and they told the world the end of '66. And I'm sitting right there in my barbershop looking at it.
Glen Rio, nestled on the Texas-New Mexico border right there. You can stand with one foot in Texas, one in New Mexico. Why is it almost a ghost town? There are more dogs there now than people. There are more chaparrals, road runners running around in the brush there than turistas.
I was there when the last town, Williams, Arizona, was bypassed by the freeway. And I came down a helicopter and I cut the red ribbon for the freeway. I thought it was sad. I thought it was sad. As a matter of fact, they were cheering and things like that. And I said, I got up and I spoke and I said, why are you cheering? I said, this is the end of an era.
The thing is, the highway didn't die. They could take down those old US 66 Shields and try to steal the name, but they couldn't stop Lillian Redmond from switching on her Blue Swallows at night. They couldn't stop Ted Drews from dipping into another big canister of frozen custard. They couldn't stop those truckers from getting off the interstate onto the old road. The road stayed alive. The highway didn't die. Route 66 is alive and well. Not just this old, tattered, varicose concrete, but the people. They're out there, and that's what keeps the highway going.
After we got bypassed, we took another good look at ourselves. We painted up, we cleaned up.
We're not like that franchise place out there. We're not like that big airport runway turnpike interstate, that horrible thing. We've got something unique here.
Oklahoma kid parked it in the left field seats. Mickey's wallop was the big blow of the fifth game, and Mickey was the big gun.
There's nothing like it. This is the only one in the world. This is the only one in the world.
decided, let's do something about it, and let's form an association. Let's ask our state to make it historic from Seligman to Kingman, U.S. Route 66, and the state says we'll help you to make it historic, but we stayed on it.
They couldn't stop Angel Delgadillo from cutting hair. They couldn't stop Francis Martin from building his Our Lady of the Highways and raising his hogs and keeping Route 66 alive.
Average 66 today. Adios.
We stayed on it. We did not give up for 1 second. We were determined to stay in Seligman and survive.
In every city along Route 66, they have an association, Route 66 Association, and they seem to keep it alive. They have Route 66 coffee cups, they have Route 66 shirts, they have everything.
All of the associations do so many different things. It might be a dance, a shindig, a concert, a cruise. It's a road of movement, and that movement, that motion, is part of the excitement. So you gotta cruise, you gotta get on that restless ribbon and cruise. You gotta go low and slow, you gotta go fast sometimes, you gotta make the wheels squeal, you gotta put the top down, you gotta head west. 85% of the road still out there from Chicago to Santa Monica. Sometimes it's a service road, sometimes it's a fragment that runs off in the weeds or different alignments, but long, significant, important stretches of Route 66 are left all the way across this country. The adventure's there today in the highway, waiting right around the bend.
I just want to say, world, come and look at us, and you won't forget or soon regret that you drove 66.
And my first wife, Cynthia, said, we're looking at the road map. She said, Bobby, why don't you write a song about Route 40? And I said, well, that's kind of silly, Cynthia, because we pick up Route 66 right outside of Chicago and take that all the way into Los Angeles. So she was very hesitant about making suggestions about lyrics and so on. But about 3 days later, she whispered to me, she said, get your kicks on Route 66. I said, oh, God, that's a good title. And I wrote half the song in the car coming out here.
If you ever plan to motor west, travel my way, take the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. It winds from Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles all the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. Hey, you go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma City looks mighty pretty. You'll see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona, don't forget Winona, Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this timely tip? When you make that California trip, get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66.
Route 66 lives. Now that you've experienced the incredible history of Route 66, you really should get your own kicks. More than 80% of Route 66 is still drivable, and historic Route 66 signs are posted in all 8 states to point the way. For information on traveling and special events, you can telephone the respective historic Route 66 associations. Here are just a few of the most famous attractions you'll not want to miss out on the Mother Road. In Illinois, a landmark is the Dixie Truckers' Home, which some believe to be the first bona fide truck stop in America. In St. Louis, you'll find the best dessert on the road, Ted Drew's frozen custard, so thick and rich you can hold it upside down. Further down the road in Missouri is Merrimack Caves, an original tourist attraction preserved intact from the highway's heyday. Kansas is home to only 13 miles of Route 66, but there's still plenty to see. Meander through the unique Galena Depot Museum and enjoy a sandwich at an authentic general store, Eisler Brothers in Riverton. Oklahoma is the heart of Route 66 and boasts such wonderfully odd attractions as the giant blue whale of Catoosa and the Round Barn in Arcadia. In Texas, you may want to skip a few meals and then try your luck at eating a 72-ounce steak. But remember, it's only free if you finish in an hour. New Mexico has 2 great motel towns. In Tucumcari, the city of 2,000 rooms, there's the revered Blue Swallow Motel. And in Gallup, stop in and see where the Hollywood stars stayed while making westerns, the charming El Rancho Hotel. In Arizona, you can experience the adventure of sleeping in a wigwam. They're in Holbrook and feature air conditioning, bathrooms, and television. Seligman, Arizona is the tiny town where Angel Delgadillo spearheads the Route 66 revival from his barbershop, while his brother Juan pulls pranks next door at the Snowcap Drive-In. The Route 66 journey ends at California's Santa Monica Pier at Ocean Boulevard, a beautiful spot to reminisce and remember the legend. A great source for information is the new National Route 66 Museum in Clinton, Oklahoma. Its gallery is one of the country's most complete sources for Route 66 material and also sells Drive 66, a video guide to planning your own trip on the route that includes an extra fold-out map and guide to help you lay out your trip. For museum information and information on how to order Route 66 reference books and the video guide to planning your Route 66 trip, call toll-free 1-888-ROUTE-66-USA. If you want the highway to come to your house, check out Route 66 magazine, available at newsstands or by calling 1-520-635-4322. It's a colorful quarterly with stories, memories, and inside tips on traveling the historic highway. It's still the road for kicks and adventure. It's still America's highway. Get your kicks on Route 66.
This highway stood apart from all the rest, became a victim of its own success. 5 interstates took its place,